Hello, hello, hello. Clean the camera on that joint. Let's make sure to see if it works. Chianti Lomax has joined. One Angeline has joined. Citizen Kane has joined. Kim Inspired has joined. Happy Friday, the Citizen Crane. Ismay from upstate New York has joined. 2 today. Yeah, I know. I'm doing 2 today because the things have been working out well. I try to do scopes. I'm well asked, Mocha. Thank you for being here. I try to do scopes as things come to me. So occasionally things will happen and I'll just start talking. Hey, Matt Crane. Thank you. Hey, Matt, that means a lot to me, man. Citizen Crane. Thank you so much. That's deep. That's tight. I really appreciate it. 3 dashes. We need to get you some 3. We need to get 3 commas. Am I having a good day? Yes, I am, Miss May. I missed one of your scopes earlier, but I try to catch the replays when I can. And love yourself. There's freedom right. That's freedom right there. You got the 2 scopes too. Hey, Tara Tate the Great. Yeah, you know what, Chianti is like when I write down ideas every single day. I have a journal. I have multiple journals, and I write down ideas in them every single day as they come up. Things that I listen to and everything else. So. That's kind of how that happens. And so right now I had an idea. I was going to do a scope a little bit later, but I decided to talk about this today. I want to talk about where you are emotionally. The quality of your life is predicated on something. Yes, 3D lashes. 3D lashes equals 3 commas. That's what we're trying. That's the thing for you. Getting 3 commas. That's how much money you're going to be making 3D lashes. That you got 3 commas coming. So real quickly. Hey, Don's a man. Like I said, I always talk about Don. He's cool. You know, follow him, learn about marketing. Ismay Walsh does a wonderful job talking about like lead pages and stuff like that and other marketing things as well. You know, Don's about, funnels and list building, and he has a lot of great insights, and I've been on a few of his scopes, so I've caught some great insights in how he's been able to grow his membership site. He's also a membership site guy, I think. And so you want to learn new things about him, about your business. If you want to do membership sites and grow your list, you can, follow those 2 people. They're great. No problem. I've seen your stuff, so I appreciate it. Halo, yes, he's the membership site guy, and he's done some great things with in the beer industry and some profitable niches. So real quickly, I want to talk to you. Oh, before I do that, I always ask you guys 2 things. I need hearts. Please, if it's resonating with what I'm about to share with you. And then the second thing is, do me a favor and share this with your friends, fans. Invite your followers. Get some people in here who are interested. And I'd love to have people, just get people in here. So I want to get as many people in here as possible so they can like listen to what we're doing. And then they can. I don't want them worried about trying to catch the replay. And every time I say replay, I start singing, "Hey, the DJ, I'm on the replay." All right, the quality of your life. This is what I want to talk to you about real quickly. The quality of your life. And the quality of your life is predicated on where you are emotionally. And I don't mean in the moment. I mean emotionally, over time, your average emotional state. And so you notice a lot of people, regardless of what they're going through, whatever problem they're going through in life, they can still come out of it. And my life changed when I started understanding the importance of not necessarily controlling my emotions, but being in tune with what's happening and understanding the cycle of life and how our brains work. So there's so many people. Hey, what's going on, Jennifer Wicks? One in yoga. She's an awesome yoga person as well. You can check out Jennifer. She's on the West Coast. She does these like sunset type scopes kind of thing, and you can watch her. You can do these sun salutations. You can watch her do yoga on the beach in amazing landscapes. If you want to get calm and centered and stuff, she's a great person to follow. I'm trying to catch some of her scopes, but yes, the importance of being where you are, right, emotionally. And your ability to figure out where you are, the quality of your life is dictated and predicated on where you are emotionally. Overall speaking, again, you're going to have peaks and valleys. But if you ever notice the people who are very successful, who are able to have sustainable success, the main thing they have in their lives is that they're able to sustain their emotional state. Okay, they go through cycles like we do. They go through pain. They go through problems. They go through things that push them in opposite directions. They have negativity happen to them. The same, and Jim Rohn always says, it's not what happens that matters, that sends the sail of your life. It's what you do about what happens to you. Because what happens to you happens to everybody. Everybody has setbacks and failures and mistakes and everything else. It's how you deal with that at a particular point in time when you're going through the thick of it that matters the most. And Keontae mentioned earlier about the importance of resiliency. That's part of it as well. You have to understand, you have to be cognizant and aware about what's happening to you, right? In your life, how to deal with setbacks emotionally. If you're a business owner, if you're just starting out, if you're already been in business, you're gonna hit a rough patch. And I'm gonna give you some pointers, some tips how to deal with this from an emotional perspective, to find a place that gets you to an emotional level in which you can, one, create personal boundaries and set the sail of your life so that you're not like a leaf, like a loose leaf in the wind, right? There's a difference between a leaf and a brick. Right? I can put a brick on the ground and put a loose leaf, right next to it, and come back the next day, the leaf will be down the street or in the middle of traffic, or worse yet, destroyed. The brick most likely still will be there. Now, hey, Dr. Finch, and the reason why the brick will remain while the leaf is gone is a lot of people in life are like loose leaves, emotionally like loose leaves, where if someone says something negative to them, their whole day is derailed, right? They wake up on the quote unquote the wrong side of the bed. They wake up angry and they carry that state into everything else. They run into problems at traffic. They run into problems at work. Someone says, someone says some crazy to them, and that sets a tone for the rest of their days, and in some cases the rest of their weeks, and even worse, the rest of their months and years. And there's so many things. You're describing many people. Exactly. And the thing is, when you realize that this is what's happening to a lot of people, there's a few things you can do. You step back and start to revisit and say, okay, do I want to participate in this mental movie? Right? We all have movies going on in our heads. Do I want to be a part of that movie where it's like a Michael Bay movie where there's explosions happening every single minute? Or do I want something where there's ebbs and there's flows, there's normalcy, there's calm, and sometimes there's spikes, but for the most part, we all know who we are. We're not running around in circles, right? I'm always like, people, you have a choice. You don't have to, exactly, you always have a choice. And that's the thing, and when you decide where you want to be and how you want to do it and where you want to go, once you've made that decision, right, that's the only time that's the only place in time in your life that you can make a difference inside of you, is when you make a decision, right? Again, it's not easy. And so whether you want to talk about, with people getting pulled over and treated by cops, unfairly, or someone does you wrong, you could tell a lot about a person by the things that bother them. And so that's another thing I want to share with you guys as well. You can tell a lot about a person, including yourself. I do the same thing with me. Is what bothers them. The things that bother them will dictate where the level of awareness and consciousness is. And the only way, right? The only way to get to a place of even keel emotionally is to first revisit who you are and take a look at, why do I respond the way I respond? When somebody says, I just get annoyed when this person says this to me. I can't handle it. This is the way I am. This is the way I was born. This is the way I was raised. That's a cop-out. That's an excuse. And I don't have time for excuse making, and neither should you, right? Get to the root and then boot it, right? Get to the root and then give it a boot. I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that. Get to the root and then give it a boot. Hey, what's going on, Myron? And so for the most part, you have to make a decision that I will not let emotions push me in a direction where I can't control. There's so many people who say they can't control how they feel and what they're saying. And sometimes people will say to you, when you start to work on controlling your emotions with yourself, people will say things to you like, I'm not a robot. You're like a robot that can do that. Either way, it's a decision. You can decide to act. You can decide to put in energy. You can decide to do whatever. Again, it's a decision that you're making. You can decide, if somebody says something crazy to me, I can make a decision to go up to them and punch them in the face. But again, there's consequences to all those things. I may be called a robot, but in the end of the day, I'm playing chess, while the person who reacts to their emotions is playing checkers. And the world is not playing checkers anymore. And so if you wonder why you're upset, why something's not happening for you, how you deal with adversity, how you deal with problems, you need to revisit, how am I dealing with my emotions? How are my emotions carrying me? Hey, what's going on, Mike Arlinsky? Yes, exactly. Actions have consequences. Inaction has consequences. Everything has consequences. And so the key is very simple. You need to ask yourself, what is the next logical step when I make a decision or when I don't make a decision? If the average person made that one distinction, you'd see how exponentially your life would change. And so, again, the quality of your life is predicated on where you are emotionally on a regular basis. Okay? Recycle. Again, life is like the changing seasons. You're going to have winter, you're going to have spring, you're going to have summer, you're going to have fall with regularity. It's been that way for 1,000 million years, right? And so the key is very simple. You know in the winter is going to be tough times and some difficulty, but you also realize that you're going to come out of it into spring, and you're going to come out of it into summer, and you're going to be harvesting whatever seeds you planted, you know, in the spring. So I'm gonna leave you with a few principles. Hey, Foso Social, Phoenicia, thanks for being here. There's one big thing I want to share with you that's really important. When people who are ebbed and flowed and pulled by their emotions, if you notice one more thing, people in your life, family, friends, people you know, when they're ebbed and flowed and they're being pulled all over the place and they're being pulled by their emotions, they get upset, they react, they fly off the handle, you also realize that they don't have a bigger purpose. And next time you run into somebody who behaves that way, ask yourself, what is their purpose? Ask them, what's your purpose in life? What's your bigger goal, bigger than you? Money's not enough. Money's never a reason to have a purpose, because you know, your brain knows you can make money in multiple different ways. So money's never a good reason. You need to find out what your purpose is. What is the reason why you're on this earth and breathing? If you say, I don't know, if you're saying, I'm not really sure, that's something else you need to revisit. That's your responsibility to share your gifts. I'm reading the book, The Purpose in Life. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to take a look at that. I will look that up, 3D Lashes. I'm going to call you 3 comma lashes, because that's the kind of money you're going to be making. 3 commas. The first thing is you need to revisit. Here's the first principle I want you to take with you, is that you need to ask yourself, if you're struggling with how you deal with emotions, is what's my bigger purpose? And when you ask yourself that question, the next question you ask yourself is, how does my current emotion and feeling, how does it propel me towards my purpose? And a lot of times, I have read The Alchemist, Brad's good, is what actually, before I give you the last 3 principles, I'll tell you about The Alchemist real quick. I read that book this time last year. I was on a plane. I was actually flying to, you need to get that, 3D Lashes. I had a client in Dallas, Texas. I was spending about a month in Dallas, Texas. My dog had just died, and the week after that, one of my good friends, his wife had just passed away from cancer as well. And I was kind of revisiting my purpose in life, and I was just like, I was in a mind state. I was kind of like, I was still grieving and everything. And so I went out and bought the book, and I've been hearing about it on a regular basis. So I went out and bought the book. It came out, and that's the first book. I was reading other books, but at the same time, I jumped in. Yes, hey, Foso Social. I was in Farmers Branch in Addison and Carrollton, Texas. Like, my client was out in that area, and so I was flying Southwest like every week and reading. I read the book in two flights, so it was only 175 pages, 178 pages, something like that. I read it, probably in the span of like maybe 4 hours or something like that. And I remember I was flying into Dallas when I was reading, and I started crying on the plane after I finished reading it. I've been hearing about it recently. Yeah, that's a good question. So I started reading I read The Alchemist. When I finished it, I finished the book on the plane, and it's to remind you about your purpose. I literally started crying after I finished reading it, because it reminded me that there's a bigger purpose. And yes, Will Smith talks about it as well. I'm a huge fan of Will Smith's thinking, and it's an amazing book to help you think about the fact that you're on this earth. You have a purpose, you have a bigger goal, you have a mission, you have your legend, is a term. For Santiago, the shepherd's boy, he had a legend, he had a personal legend. Everybody in this world has a personal legend, but you also have a responsibility, both spiritually as well as physically here on this earth, and mentally, regardless of what you believe in, to find out what that is, okay? And I always say this, we're in the middle of, I always say this, that your purpose is the intersection of your gifts and your goals. Wherever your gifts and goals intersect is where your purpose is. That is the intersection of your purpose. So the key is to find out what your gifts are and what your goals are, and then put those two together, and then you'll find your bigger purpose. Now, you'll have more purpose as you go through life, right? Things will start to change. You'll have children. You have a spouse you got to care about. It's part of your purpose. You'll have a bigger goal of changing lives and leaving a legacy. That's an addition to your purpose. But once you figure out what those things are in general, you have a bigger mission to do what you do. So when you want to give up, you're thinking about this. Yes, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And when you want to give up, you're thinking about your bigger purpose. Who's relying on you? Your purpose relies on you to fulfill it, right? Equals intersection of gifts and goals. Yes. Hey, happy Slappy Inc. Love that. And The 4 Agreements is another great one too, Mike. That's a great book as well. I love that. I implement a lot of these things in my life and how I think, and some of you guys obviously can see that. That's why you guys are sharing these books. And so that's the bigger thing. You need to figure out in your life what your bigger purpose and goals are. When you do those things, you tend to end up not falling for the emotional pitfalls that come. to everybody, because the successful people deal with the same BS that other people deal with. Exact same thing. They get pulled over the same way. They get treated crazy by people they know and love. But the way they handle it is different than a person who has a poverty mindset, scarcity mindset, who's stagnant. You guys heard my last scopes. There's no such thing as stagnation. They're stuck on the platform of the train while the train of opportunity is going past them. All those things are happening to them. So in order, your ability, again, in life, to succeed, and your ability to get to a higher level, a higher place, and the quality of your life, again, is predicated on where you are emotionally, right? Because the emotions will set the sail, will set the steps towards where you're supposed to be doing. So the first thing I said is you need to find your purpose and figure out who's relying on you, why that matters more than anything else. That will keep you in a different place. Keep giving me the hearts. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. I'm gonna give you 3 more. It's 4 total principles. I'm gonna give you 3 more principles, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. The second is you need to feed your mind. Okay. Whether it's watching scopes like this, whether it's reading books like The Alchemist, The 4 Agreements, whether it's listening to Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to pour into your life. There's a psychological study that shows, right, that for every one negative piece of information you allow into your brain, into your body, or a negative thought that happens to everybody else, right, you need at least 17 positive ones just to get back to equal. So for me, all day long while I work, I'm listening to motivational stuff all day long. And not just rah-rah stuff. It's just I'm trying to learn about my brain. I'm trying to learn about my mind. It's 17 to 1 is the ratio I read. And I also heard it second by Les Brown. So you wonder why it's hard for so many people to get out of negative cycles, to get out of negative momentum. Because you have a negative thought, and then you talk to your friends about it, and they second it because we all, misery loves company. And then you talk to somebody else, they add to that. And then you watch TV, and they're talking about how the economy is crap. And then your boss is telling you this, and next thing you know, you got negativity all the way down the line. You drive home from work, people are angry as they drive home because they're sitting in traffic. I want you to do me a favor, wherever you live in a city, look outside the window when you're going to work yourself, when you're walking to work or taking the metro, the subway, or bus, whatever you're doing. Look at the faces of everybody else you pass. Look at their faces. I'm almost willing to guarantee 90% of those people have a scowl on their face. They'd rather be back in bed. They're miserable. They're talking about negative gumbo. I love it. It's like a soup. It's like negative, like a chowder. It's negative. Negativity is such a force because there's another psychological principle / not sort of like a cognitive bias, but more importantly, something that our evolutionary brain kind of focuses on. There's 2 things. The first is losses loom larger than gains. Okay, so simply put, our brains will focus on the things that are negative more than the things that are positive. People are more likely to focus on the negative things than they are on the positive, which is why you see in marketing and advertising, people always address the problems that your customer has. They won't talk about the good things. They'll talk about the problems you have, the mistakes you'll make if you don't do this, the problems you'll have if you don't buy this, or if you don't go to this place, or if you don't call this number. That's why they do that first, because our brain wants pain avoidance, wants to avoid us from keeping pain, right? As Lo said, exactly. You remember when you lost $50 bills, but you won't remember when you found one, right? We always talk about the problems we had. We'll always talk about the errors we made or the things we lost. We won't talk about the greatness and the things that we've overcome. And that's an evolutionary psychology principle from Dr. David Buss, and that's exactly how our brains function. But think about it this way: from an evolutionary psychology perspective, it makes sense, because if you did not pay attention to things that could kill you, you would die. The whole reason why human race is supposed to be around as long as it is because we're supposed to procreate and pass on genes, right? It doesn't give a crap about your dreams and goals. So as a result of that, negativity is implanted in us to begin with. Now, in order to get out of that, where we are today, the positivity has to be cultivated like a garden. Weeds are going to grow in your brain regardless. Weeds are going to grow in your garden regardless. Rodents are going to come and steal some of your things regardless. And so the goal is very simple. You need to find out how to pluck out the weeds. That's why I listen to motivational information. I read books. I talk to motivational people who are happy, people who are in a higher level of consciousness, who are in a higher level of a positive state and not in a negative or emotionally where they are, right? And so that's why as you start to migrate towards a higher level of consciousness, all of you guys who are watching, you will no longer put up with negative people in your life, even if it's family members, friends, best friends, any of that stuff. You're like, you know what? When somebody comes with your nonsense, no. That's all I say. I read Personal Development Daily. That's awesome, 3D. That's why you're probably in a better place. Even if you're going through problems, that's exactly how it works. When somebody says, hey, let's go get wasted, no. Personal boundary. Personal boundary to my mind. I'm starting to get really picky with it. Exactly. Because you realize your time's important and your brain's important and what you pour into it. Okay, so the first thing, you need to feed your mind with positive stuff. Feed your mind with information. Feed your mind with information that will continue to propel and push you. So if you're worried about your business, you're struggling with your life, whatever it is, there's information everywhere. Everything you want to do in life has been done by somebody else. And the fact that we don't take the time to go read those things and find those things and watch those lectures on YouTube, shame on us. So, first thing, find your mission, your purpose. Second thing, you need to feed your mind. Every time, 17 positive things that counteract one negative thing that's sitting in your brain. Hey, Chem Goddess, thanks for joining me. The next thing is your body. There's some capacity. You need to think about what you're putting into your body, as well as how you treat your body. I'm not telling you to turn into a fitness model and start lifting every day and da-da-da. That's fine. That's not going to happen. Nobody ever does that. But you need to be very cognizant about the foods you eat, how you eat, when you eat. Be cognizant of your sleep, which is huge. People make fun of me all the time, but it doesn't matter. I love sleep. In the middle of, sometimes I don't sleep as much as I should, but I try to sleep good sleep. Personal development is like taking a bath. Exactly. You got to do it every single day. You got to make a commitment to it because your brain is more important. So sleep is important, but more importantly, what I do is I sleep in a dark room. Absolutely black out my room, black out drapes. Sometimes I sleep with an eye mask. I don't have alarms. I don't have any lights or LEDs or anything else going on in my room, so that I don't have the pineal gland, right, is in your brain. The pineal gland, if it catches any light, you're right, your brain heals during sleep. Exactly. You know that, Terratate, because you overcame a brain injury through an accident. So I'm so happy that you're on here and you're doing a lot better. You're awesome. This is such a risk. Thank you so much, a Slappy Happy Inc. Exactly. Thank you, Lo. No TV in the bedroom. That's something you need to do, because you cannot produce your level of greatness if you're not sleeping well. You realize this: when you don't sleep well, figure out I'll sleep when I'm done. I get it, Mike. If you're in the middle of trying to get something, I do the same thing. Sometimes I go to sleep at 4 o'clock because I'm trying to finish something. But then I use that as a tool in my toolkit to get something done, and then I go back and I catch up on my sleep and on weekends and stuff like that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate this, Myron. And so I want to add one more thing when it comes to sleeping. You have to take care of your brain and your body. Your brain will heal that way. When you notice that when you make mistakes from your sleep and the food you put in your body, it's the momentum to do more negative stuff happens. So when I was eating McDonald's, it's because I was drinking, because I wasn't sleeping. My willpower starts to go down. As a result of the willpower, I started making more mistakes in that area. So that's one thing you need to think about when you want your emotional state to rise. How do you do that? Oh, you're talking to Chem Goddess. So the body. So the first one is purpose, right? What is your purpose? Ask yourself what your purpose is. Find your purpose. Second thing is feed your mind. You got to listen to music. That's amazing. Listen to music. Listen to motivational stuff. Getting the kind of energy you need. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Get the kind of energy you need from a positive perspective to fight the negativity. The third one is your body. You got to put in, thank you, Amanda, you got to put in good food. And it's not easy. I'm not telling you to stop eating fast food or whatever else, but you don't want to turn it into a chore, because if you do, you most likely will stop. What you want to consider doing is slowly making incremental steps. So instead of eating broccoli 5 days a week, maybe eat broccoli 1 day a week. And in the next 2 weeks, you move up to 2. And then you do some other things. And you find out you try to sleep well, right? No TV, no light creeping in, nothing. Even I can sleep a lot better. Even if I sleep 4 hours, I still have a decent sleep because of what I've done with my day and my room and everything else, okay? Last but not least, your spirit. This is not a religious thing. It's not a whatever. But what I mean by spirit is simple. You want to be in a place of peace. You want to strive for that. Now, Jennifer is an example. She does yoga. Some of you guys here do yoga. That includes meditation. That includes just being quiet for a moment. A lot of times in the morning, I love to wake up and meditate. Sometimes I don't do it all the time, but I'll wake up 5 minutes, even if it's 2 minutes. But you want to keep your brain still. There's a study that says the first 2 hours of you waking up is when you're at your peak, your most useful, your peak performance ability. So a lot of people who are high earners, who are successful, who are doing big things, that's why they wake up so early. Because the first 2 hours of their day, they wake up at 5. First 2 hours of their day is used towards the high performing activities. Not about work. For them, it's about getting their mind and body right. Okay? So I can say I've learned something. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad. And catch a replay if you missed anything. But thank you so much, Amanda G. That's awesome. Exactly. That's the reason why, Myron, I agree with you. That's the reason why we get a lot of our great ideas. People say you get in the shower. The reason why you get that in the shower is because you're getting it. Your brain is at its optimum point. The brain is just awoken from slumber and is at the top peak performing ability for you. So the key is whether it's meditation, whether it's just chilling for a second. And it's like this. Some people pray. Some people stare at a wall. Some people stare out and look at nature. Some people read like a book that's calming. But you want to get your mind in a place so that you can go to work and demand and destroy the day. I feel different since I've given up meat. Yeah, exactly. You will feel different from that. Recap the 4 principles, please. Just the topics. Yes, Brad's good. Here's the 4. Yeah, the 4. Sorry, the 4. First one: find your purpose and mission. Your gifts and your goals have to intersect. That's where your purpose is, where your gifts and goals intersect. Second one is you need to feed your mind. Motivational input. You got to turn off the news. Watch news if you want. I watch TV and stuff, but you have to make sure you don't absorb it and allow yourself to absorb that stuff. So you got to feed your mind with positive stuff. That also includes people in your circle. That also includes what you read and what you listen to. I listen to YouTube all day long. Motivational stuff. The third is your body. How you sleep, the food you eat. Here's an example. So I'm adding this before I go to the last one. I was feeling a little bit under the weather. So was my girlfriend. And I know before I got sick, like before I had a cold and everything else, I used to do turmeric shots. I used to do turmeric and ginger, and I used to do these kale spinach, kale and spinach plus pineapple and turmeric and all this stuff, like in a blender in a NutriBullet. And as my girlfriend says, lotions and potions. And so the reality was this. I realized that when I got sick, I wasn't doing the turmeric and the ginger like I used to. So I made a turmeric shot for both of us. And the next day, she felt amazing the next day, despite being sick. She felt amazing the next day. And that's when she stopped saying lotions and potions and making fun of me, because it works. And so the food we put into our bodies, the kind of thing that we put in, turmeric is amazing antibacterial properties. Turmeric, ginger, a little bit of lemon, like a sliver, like a quarter lemon, and I put a little bit of pineapple in there, and I put it in a NutriBullet, and I drink it. That's it. It works. And so it's imperative that the things you put in your body, there are a lot of properties you find in food that can heal you. Your sleep can heal you. And last but not least, spirit. Right, you got to work on your spirit. That can be through motivation. Meditation. That can be through philosophical exercises. Just thinking about different things and focusing on the things that matter most to get all the noise out of your mind. All right, because your brain will start giving you voices, and you want to control. You'll be able to control the voices. This is what I do in my spirit. When I have a negative thought, everyone is mineral deficient. Exactly. And when my brain has a stupid thought or a dumb thought or a limiting belief or something like that, I literally manifest. I do an incantation. I say it out loud to myself. Shut up, brain. That's what I say. Shut up. I have all this evidence of things that I've done, things that I've succeeded in. You're not gonna persuade me to make a mistake today. That's exactly how I say things like that every single time. My girlfriend should see that I talk to myself. I don't care, but you have to. You literally have to counteract the doubt and the fear that will creep into your brain, into your spirit. All right, the last 4, I'll do it again. Last 4, and then I'm gonna wrap, and then I'm gonna take off. But again, change happens. Change for you will happen in a moment. The day you make a decision to get your emotional state up and to raise it. When you do that, your life is predicated on where you are emotionally. So whatever you're doing is working. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So first is your purpose. Find your purpose. Find your mission. Right? I literally say stop and replace with a positive thought. Exactly. That's what Lo. Thank you so much. That's a great point, Lo. First is your mission, your purpose. Find your purpose. Okay, you have to find it. You have a responsibility while you're on this earth to find a purpose. We all have a purpose. We don't know how long we're going to be here, so we're supposed to find it. Wake up to be better today than you were yesterday. Exactly. Whatever that is, find it, right? And then when you find it, take steps to get towards that more, where you can actively participate in your purpose. The second thing is feed your mind. You got to get good. Thank you so much, Brad. Man, thank you for being here, man. You're the man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Asmoka. And when you feed your mind, find people you can listen to. Go to motivational. Maybe you can go to a conference, read a book. The Alchemist, whatever, Warrior of the Light, whatever you want to read. There's so many books out there that have great information, that aren't that long, and that are easy to read. And I give you the ability to live a life of happiness. Being positive doesn't mean you won't have problems. Exactly. You will always have problems. What happens to you happens to everybody. It does. You're not the only person. There's always somebody else going through something else that you're going through. The difference is, how are they handling it versus you, right? I used to go through things all the time. I used to handle things differently, maybe out of hand, things that weren't really good. So yes, purpose is one. Feed your mind. Take care of your body. Take care of your spirit through meditation. Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad you're learning this, Chem God. It's like, so when you do these things, you will see how your life will change. It'll improve. If you're happy where you are, that's great. But even adding this will get you to another level. The people in your life that are supposed to be there, that enrich you, that bring you joy and passion, they will continue to do the same at a 10x level. Other people who are in the same will come to you to do the same as well. The people who are like, you know, like cement shoes or like an anchor around your neck in an ocean will start to fall away because they won't be able to understand. While you're on a train going towards your opportunity, they will be on the platform of their lives watching you sail off. And they'll say things like this to you. When you start changing and getting better, this is what you'll hear from people like that from the negative side. They'll say, you've changed. You're not the same person you were. After you got some success, now you've changed. You're right. And I'm thankful that I have. Thank you. You have a great day. That's what you say to them. Don't believe me, just watch. Yeah, Felicia, don't believe me, just watch. And so that's it. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the love. I'm just trying to bring whatever I have in my mind and just share with you as I'm here. Exactly. Thank you, Lo. The goal is to change, be better, do better. Exactly. Change happens the moment you made a decision for that change to happen. And, you know, like I said earlier, the quality of your life is predicated on where you are emotionally. That sets the tone. Your emotions is basically will set your beliefs, and that's the foundation of your ability to get to another level. Because you deserve to go somewhere else. Your business, you're trying to go to 6 figures, you're trying to go to 7 figures. It's not going to happen if you're a leaf in the wind. It's going to happen if you're a rock, hard. There's a reason why people use rocks all the time as metaphors, because it's sturdy, emotional strength. Thank you so much, Chemical 9. It's emotional strength, keeps you grounded, keeps you rooted. They built pyramids with rocks and stones, right? They didn't build them with leaves and trees. The 3 little pigs, the house were getting blown down until the guy had bricks, right? Every single story, parable, metaphor, whatever you were talking about, it's always about sticks, all about stones and bricks and things that are strong and sturdy and can withstand the seasons and the winds and the elements. Your mind is a mental it's a mental fortress, and how you stand guard in it will dictate whether or not you get to where you deserve to be, where you belong to be, what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm a positive person. My husband's changed to be more positive. Exactly. Hey, 3D lashes. That is it. Because it's a better place to be regardless of what happens to you. It's a better place to be because you will start to produce fruit, right? Even in the Bible, it talks about fruit that's been poisoned can't produce good fruit. Or a dead tree can't produce good fruit. There's no way. There's no way. If you're always negative, how can you possibly get wealthy and get riches and do well? It will never happen. Again, there are exceptions to everything, but I'm not in the exception business. I'm talking about, what happens to most people. If you change, people around you will change. You're right. You're right, Kim Goddess. They will change or they will leave, but something is going to happen either way. And you're going to keep moving towards your goal, towards your purpose, towards your life, towards your mission, which is why you're on this earth to do what you're supposed to do. So again, the quality of your life is predicated on where you are emotionally. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the hearts and the love and the comments, and keep talking. I have a whole bunch of other things I want to talk about. And leave it, sir. Exactly. They will leave, Felicia. They will leave. It is their loss. But they won't know it until later. They'll come back to you about a year, 2 years later. Oh my God, you know what? I understand what you were doing. Man, that sucks. I mean, I was an asshole. Let's be friends again. But by that time, you've moved on. So, no, you're ready. You're so welcome, Miss May. I love your stuff. I love all you guys' stuff. I'll follow you guys. I'll come on your scopes if I see them. You're welcome, Kim. Thank you so much for staying up to watch this. I know you're in Europe, so this is like 5 hours ahead. You should be in bed. You got babies and stuff, so I appreciate that. Good morning. Going forward, I guess you're from Australia. I'm about to take off, so do me a favor. Please catch the replay. Give me some hearts and share this with your friends. Going forward, AU. You're welcome, Asmoka. Again, thank you so much, Jennifer, for being on here. Mism9, respect. Lost many friends when I got more. Exactly. But you're a better person. You're happier. Because again, when you go, what's the point? Terra Tate the Great. Love your stuff. Keep going. Keep doing it. Thank you so much. And catch a replay going forward, AU. And I hope you like my scopes and what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you so much. A happy slappy ink. I love that. That's funny. One thing I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm gonna start saving these scopes. Oh, thanks so much, Kim, guys. I'm gonna start saving these scopes, and I'm gonna repurpose them. I have the skin already made, and I'm gonna start putting them on YouTube. So I thank you guys for watching. I'm just trying to, people have changed my life. All I'm doing is paying it forward. I'm passing the baton of life. Hey, Pettis Kim, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. You guys are great. Have a great Friday. I'd say have a great weekend, but you guys are grinders. You're gonna be fighting and working towards getting your goal into your dreams. You deserve to make money. You deserve to live the life you live. You deserve to be millionaires, and y'all gonna get it. So love you guys. Take care. Have a good week. Dope scope. This takes forever.